if for a fact you know that the other monk is not doing the right thing, isn't it correct for the monk to point out to that person, to the monk, that he is doing the wrong thing and all this? Or just keep quiet?
No. This one about not talking bad about another monk does not mean that you cannot point out another monk's mistake. It is actually a duty of a monk to point out another monk's mistake and shortcoming. But what is meant by wrong livelihood is to talk bad in a way, to talk bad when it is not true. When it's not true, just to boost your status or something, and then you talk bad about another monk or another person. That's what is meant.
Hello, Bante. I continue with this. Mr. He was talking. Normally, Bante, I've just read one of the books. He said if you want to complain about the monks, normally after the katina or something like that, then if you found the monks have said something wrong, then they go to the monk to complain about his weaknesses. Is it something like that, Bante?
This one is the Pavarana ceremony. If monks have stayed together for the Vasa, it means that they have stayed for 3 months together. And when they have stayed together for 3 months, it is possible that they might get on each other's nerves. Not unhappy, they are unhappy with each other over something. So to overcome this problem, so that they don't keep in their heart. So the Buddha said that they should invite at the end of the Vasa, every monk should invite other monks to criticize him in case they have seen or heard or suspect that he has done anything wrong. He gives permission to other monks to criticize him. So I think this is a very good thing. Because for most people who do not practice the spiritual path, we have this ego and we don't like to be criticized. In fact, even some people in the monastery also, staying in the monastery also, they haven't come to the state where they can accept criticism. But actually, in the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha said, if you can find somebody who can bring to your attention your faults, then you should value that person and stick to that person and not leave that person. Because only when somebody can point out our mistake, then only we can improve. If we don't improve, then the Buddha said we might as well die today, because if we live another 20 or 30 years, we are not going to improve. We are wasting our time, we are wasting our life. So not only are we not improving, we are using up our good karma, because as human beings and heavenly beings, we are in a happy destination of rebirth. So every day that we live as human beings, we are using up good karma. So in that sense, we are wasting our life. Making jokes is not an offense. Sometimes, like some people, jokingly you tell a lie. As long as it doesn't harm people, it's all right. In fact, sometimes telling a lie is necessary. May be necessary to prevent a greater harm from happening.
Sometimes monks are invited for talks, and then for a fact we know that he is saying something against the suttas or whatever it is. Do we have the right to point out to the monk right away in front of everybody that he is saying the wrong things? Or do we just keep quiet and then later go and see him personally and then talk to him about what he has said or something like this?
I guess whether you can point out something that the monk has said is not correct, would depend on the circumstances. Would depend on the circumstances. Firstly, maybe you think if you don't point it out, some people might get wrong view. So with that in mind, maybe it's good to point out. So having pointed out, if that monk refuses to accept what you say, and then after that you have done your duty, keep quiet. Yes, it's good to put it in a nice way. Whether it's done in front of everybody or not, also you have to see the situation, whether he can take it. If he can take it, then it's alright. If he cannot take it, then maybe you should tell him in private.
But then they criticize.
Yeah. It's better to talk in front than to talk behind.
Bhante, recently we have one a guest who came. I'm not sure whether he's correct or not. He came to give a talk on Dhamma. He said that the next...
Was it a monk?
No, he's not a layman. He said the next Buddha will be an elephant from the something like that. Elephant God, is it? Is there any connection with that? The next Buddha, Bhante, can you shed some light on that?
Nowadays, Buddhism is 2,500 years old, so there's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot of later books. So a lot of things that were written later cannot be trusted. If they were not spoken by the Buddha in the early suttas, we cannot take it to be the truth. As far as this elephant God becoming a Buddha, I've never heard about it.
That was what we heard in the talk. That was what we heard in the talk. We have the latest talk we had. Just want to confirm. I was a bit confused when I heard that also. So we went home. I talked over to Sue. Is there such a thing like that? I never heard Bhante saying something like this.
No, I never heard.